He's not falling off a cliff.
I still believe they hang around long enough, they make it to the playoffs, and you get a quarterback who will be playing in postseason game number 48 of his career. And he'll change in that moment. And I've seen him change. That Monday night game against the Saints, I just feel like something comes over him. He feels, it's like, the Superman transformation. He moves a different way. He looks a different way when he gets into those moments where he knows, okay, it's time to go get it done.
It's a challenge, and you just try to figure out the challenge. And it's a long race. Yeah. You still got, you don't, it's not over in week 13. That's why you play all 17 weeks.
I am so loath to do anything other than just have firm belief in him, because every time he's ever been doubted, any time that's ever been saying that's it, that's enough, he's proven that that's not it, and that's not enough.
There's no lack of, I guess maybe it's one of the strengths, there's no lack of quit, there's no lack of fight. Guys are practicing their ass off. We're trying to work hard to make the right improvements, and it's, every day you're challenging this sport. You get up every day and your body feels a certain way, and your mind and your confidence and now you got to go coordinate that with everyone else's body and confidence and attitude, and you're trying to string together special teams, offense, defense. There's a lot to do, and it's really rewarding when it pays off.
You're right about Brady. You never count him out. I certainly would never in a million years count him out.
Man, losing sucks. That's just the reality. There's not a lot of explanation. Unfortunately, I've had to do, too much of that this year. So just learning from it and trying to be better. And obviously woke up at 3 a.m. this morning, just trying to figure out, I just had some real plays yesterday at the end of the day. So you can't win when the quarterback turns it over 4 times, and that's on me. So that's how I feel.
What does Tom think about it? Does he think he could, because you still see the ball velocity, you still see it come out.
Yep. Arm strength's still there, man.
Neck up's no problem. Shoulder strength, no problem.
What happens? What changes the complexion of a game? I know you always say it isn't one play or it isn't one thing, but what happens if things are going so well and then all of a sudden, it's that thing you've told us for years, you can't learn how to win a game until you learn how not to lose.
Yeah, and there's lots of ways to lose. We played San Francisco the week before, and they played better, more physical, all those things. And then, we come home, we play against a good team, returning Super Bowl team that's obviously has a lot of talent. And we just, we held them to 35 yards, 70 yards or something like that in the first half before their 2-minute drive. We were playing great, and we came out in the second half and just, there's no explanation for it other than it was just a loss of focus, loss of concentration, and, that's what leads to bad plays.
When they get to January, if they win the division, and they probably still will, that's when you look at this roster. On paper, they should be better than they are. I think that's the moment where we're going to see, can they pull it all together? Can they get their full focus for 60 minutes and go out there and get it done? And I would not bet against them, even against a very good Cowboys team. If it comes down to the Bucs as the 4 seed and the Cowboys as the 5 seed, I would have a hard time not picking the Bucs with Tom Brady to win that game.
From my standpoint, I can always, there's ways you can handle adversity. One is you point fingers at other people, which we don't do. Another thing you do is you quit, and that's not what we do. Another thing is you point a finger at yourself, and that's what we do. And I gotta do a better job, and I gotta be better for my team. I gotta be better for our organization. I gotta be better for our fans. And all it does is motivate me to work harder. And, I've definitely been challenged, in different ways. And this is what resilience is all about. This is not folding the tent when things get hard. This is about, fighting your way through it and figuring out how to overcome it.
Laugh all you want, but that's a Christmas game. He's got to sit there and just say 7-8. We can do this. I can do this. I've got a home playoff game. Let's see what we can do this year.
In a crazy, crazy, crazy way, our whole season's still ahead of us. No one would ever imagine that. And you know what? It doesn't matter if you don't take advantage of that, but we have an opportunity to do something about it. And, we're at the home stretch. There's 3 games to play, and it's been very frustrating, a lot of things. It's been very difficult dealing with the losses. And at the same time, does that detract from your confidence? Is that going to lead to a week of practice and a lack of preparation for a game that we need to go win? And we got to figure out how to win and go to Sunday night in Arizona on Christmas to figure out how to win a game. And I think when you point the finger at yourself, that's the only way to get better, and, I know my teammates feel the same way.
The one thing about Brady that is universal is that he's had a couple of resuscitative wins in the last few weeks. The first one was in Munich against Seattle. And after that, I can tell you, because I was with him after that game, and he was on top of the world. All right. And then he has the resuscitative win against New Orleans, where he has the big comeback late, and he's excited after the game and everything. So I do not put it past them to rally, to make the playoffs, and to give somebody a good game in the first game.
So if you're Tom Brady, you got to sit here and think to yourself, long term, obviously, they're still in first place at 6-8. Unbelievable. As Carolina and Atlanta both lost. It's the Saints who won yesterday to get a little bit closer. But as we all know, the Bucks swept the Saints, so that's no skin off of. There's no sweating New Orleans coming that close.
Right.
And I think anyone who's gone through life and struggles at their job or struggles in other aspects of life, when you do put effort and energy into it, what are you learning from that, as opposed to, why is that happening to you and for you? Why you're not a victim of that. We're not a victim of losing games. The sun came up today. We got something to do about it. We woke up. We have a chance. Why, this is not the time to, feel sorry for yourself. So get up, go into work and make it better and improve it and work harder and work more determined. And, it's so easy to throw in the towel. It's so easy. That's what most people want. It's why you listen on TV and, it's what you should have done. Well, yeah, if you're a loser, that's what you should do. You should just fold the tent when things don't go the way you want. But that's not the way life is.
And a couple of years ago, what happened was the final 4 weeks of the season, they found the gas pedal. They came out of the bye week. Yeah. They won 4 in a row, and that laid the foundation. They were 7-5. And off they went. They didn't even win the division that year. That's the thing. They could go into the playoffs this year as the 4 seed. They won the Super Bowl 2 years ago as the 5 seed. So even if they have a losing record and they win the division, they're in a better spot on the playoff tree when all the records go out the window and it's time to go play single elimination football. But that's where it's hard to count out Tom Brady, because he's never going to be freaked out by that moment of being in the playoffs, of having your season ride on the game, because he lives for that. He thrives on that. It's been, almost 3 full seasons of football in that setting where if you lose, you go home.
Look, we all have physical, mental, emotional aspects to us, and all those things are challenged. Some years you are challenged a little more physically. You got to overcome some adversities physically. Maybe you get, I took a big shot in my shoulder this year. Did it derail me? Not at all. I just had to deal with it. And I've dealt with that in the past. The emotional challenges of losing and those challenges, those are hard. Those are really hard. It's hard to show up every day to the media and say, well, why aren't you getting it done? What's wrong with you? Why is it, why are you guys not performing the way you want? I've never had to deal with that. And you know what? It's not very fun. And I have a lot more empathy for guys that are putting all that time and energy in and things aren't going their way. And that could be not just a football player. Not just, that's anyone in their job. That could be the guy working at UPS. That could be a guy working in the military. That could be working in the sales office. That could be Kylian Mbappe, who scored 3 goals in the World Cup. And you know what? The team just didn't win. So it's just, it's life. You're not entitled to winning. No one's guaranteed winning. No one's guaranteed tomorrow. The sun came up today, and you're going to try to make this day the best day you can based on what happened the day before, and what can you learn, and what can motivate you to go forward.
Everybody's going to start chiming in on what Brady should do in the future. Everybody's going to start chiming in on that. And the only thing that matters is, what does Tom Brady think of the play that he's undertaking right now? He did fumble the ball yesterday, and he threw a pick in the second half. We talked about it at the very top. The second half was a turnover on downs, an interception, 2 fumbles, an interception, and a punt.
Oof.
And then a touchdown at the end that just made it a little closer. That was the second half. They're up 17-0. The defense lets Joe Burrow get a quick 3 right before the half. They turn it over on downs to start the second half. And then that's when the roof caves in. One of those was a fake punt. Giovanni Bernard is just not on the same page, miscommunication, whatever you want to call it, right? It's just a typical thing for the Bucs where they're doing just enough and they're doing better than what you think is just enough. And then something happens. Yeah, but holding penalty, interception, fumble here, guy runs the wrong way. Brady throws it behind somebody. That's usually the part of when things don't work out for Brady that you don't see. And so what does Tom think about it? That's all that's going to matter.
And is it compounded because you're the leader that you are? Because you've won the 7 Super Bowls and because everybody's looking to you?
Yeah, and as they should. And that's something I got to do a better job of. I got to do a better job of. These next 3 weeks, I have to do my best I can with my enthusiasm, my energy, and my emotion directed in the appropriate way toward everyone, my coaches, my teammates, the opponents, my personal life. All those things have to be focused in the right way.
Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe as I post a new Tom Brady video every day.